I actually shudder to think what would have been modern contemporary Indian art scene had she had a longer lifespan. In a short life, she managed to achieve so much. Her body of work is tremendous. Her works are considered as national treasure. They can't be taken out of the country without the permission of the government of India. And apart from her artistic skill and par excellence, it's her spiritual spunk which we just can't deny. Amrita is an interesting persona also because she is of mixed parentage. Father was Indian, Rao Singh, partly aristocratic family from Majita in Punjab, and her mother was a singer and opera singer and pianist from Budapest, Hungary. Her life can be compartmentalized into sections. She was born there in her early years, then they moved to India and they settled in Shimla, and she used to model her the servants. She was the youngest Asian to get admission in the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts Institute. So here when she had gone to Paris and she learnt and she was familiarized with those techniques and those skin tones and that palette which is very different from the Indian hues. So you can see the color palette is also like that, and they have a spontaneity. If you see the brush strokes, so this is an impressionist style of painting where there is no smooth blending of the colors, and even in the background it's like a blurred space, and also the kind of detailing for her facial features. So it's like a glimpse that you get. She's probably referred to a mirror, like even as you can see the way she is looking. When the artist is looking into at the viewer, so you can be sure that they have used a mirror as a reference to. So naturally with the mirror image, even a right-handed person becomes a left-handed person. Amrita can be lauded for moving back, whereas everybody is keen on going and establishing in Europe. And despite having learned there and being based at Paris, she made the brave move to come back to the Indian subcontinent. And when she came back, decided to move back to India, she travelled extensively, mostly in the southern part of India. It was princely kingdoms and she had permits, and so that's why her subject matter also changed, the color palette changed, and most interestingly the style of depicting the subject matter changed entirely. And we have a lot of series like the one behind. This is called Two Women. But there is another famous one of three women, and they have these pensive postures, and so that was one more thing that Amrita found very poignant about how the Indian masses, they are very subdued and accepting of their and she was very moved by the poverty also. She was influenced by the Ajanta painting style, where we have this flat filling of color. If you notice, there won't be any gradation and depth created. When she moved to India, she was quite pained by the segregation and of the Indian society. So she also realized about the social inequality of the haves and have-nots, something like the way this particular painting also is depicting about the privileged people and the multitude of servants who are there in attendance. So this painting is evocative about how its title Siesta, and it is depicting how the languid atmosphere. Right now we see it as a dark interior. You can see the bright sunshine outside, which is marked by a small window which has been blocked. Otherwise, this is the interior with lots of women in attendance, even small, and the activities which are going on, spinning of the charkha, and there's a lady fanning the mistress. So it shows the privileged life of and a relaxed atmosphere within. She died prematurely at the age of 28, so she was not very much celebrated during her lifetime. It's difficult to say happy, but it's definitely living on her own terms. There was this famous quote of hers where she said, Europe belongs to Picasso and Braque, India belongs to me. So I find that very powerful.
Who do you think should be the father of woman?
I am without doubt that it should be Amrita.